Hello everyone, I'm Ben Contreras.
And I'm Mama.
And welcome back to our playthrough of Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. So as you can see, I actually managed to get my way out of the labyrinth, and it wasn't really as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Basically, at the end of the labyrinth, it took me back to that area where we started. All I had to do was go backwards. I had to go back 2 rooms, and then it would lead me to a new area, which would then lead me to this place.
Cool.
And it is the clock tower. Looks like we just ran into Graham again. I think this is like only the second time we've actually seen this guy.
Graham Jones.
But this is actually where a bit more of the story gets sort of fleshed out.
Okay.
So this Graham here is essentially talking about how he believes that since he was born on the day that Dracula was killed in that giant battle I talked to you about in the first part, he thinks that he's a sort of reincarnation of Dracula.
Oh, poor thing.
Which is actually something that was later fleshed out in the second game of this, which was on the DS, I think. And there was like a large group of people who thought they were like some sort of like reincarnations of Dracula, because they were born on the same days too. And Soma then says something about this sort of power that he has, and then Graham gets jealous because he thinks that Soma is trying to like overthrow him as like the ruler of the castle, which is sort of going a bit over the top. But yeah, he eventually gets mad, and he apparently also misses an eye in his portrait there.
Sure is.
And now basically he pretty much hates us.
Okay.
And he basically becomes the main villain of the game for a while. But yeah, the clock tower is actually quite an infamous area in many Castlevania games, especially the old school Castlevania games, because usually they would be around the final stage in the game, and of course that would mean that they would intentionally make it like one of the most frustrating areas. But in games like this, the clock tower isn't as much of a big deal, and they straight up made that golem like camouflage with all those other brown colors.
Oh, I like the flying Medusa head.
Here we go. I actually desperately need this.
Patron saint of tater tots.
Oh, it looks like we ran into Yoko.
Oh, the pretty lady.
So Soma basically talks about how he just encountered Graham, and how he thinks that he's gonna become like the reincarnation of Dracula and all that. And afterwards, Yoko says that Graham's already her enemy. So with Soma and Graham not liking each other anymore, Yoko and Soma are now on basically the same overall side.
Best friends.
Which is funny. It's funny when you kind of think about it, because Graham was leaving was walking to the left, and that would eventually have led to this room right here. So it's strange how Yoko and Graham didn't find each other. Oh, looks like we kind of this night. Unlike the green one, actually brought a natural sort of weapon with him. Instead of throwing rocks, he threw bombs. it's areas like this that make which is why many people say that the clock towers are some of the hardest areas in these games, because a lot of times, many of the rooms are like this sort of vertical shaft with a bunch of enemies being around.
Right.
Which can get annoying, and one of the most annoying enemies that are in the game are another form of the Medusa heads, which I think are supposed to be colored yellow.
Oh.
Those ones actually have the ability to turn you into stone if you get hit by them, which would then send you all the way back down to the bottom of the floor, and you'd have to do that entire sequence all over again.
Oh, that's not cool. Ow!
See, those Medusa heads are fine. They just damage you. At least the music is like very.
Yeah, it's like got us pepped up.
Mm-hmm. It's like very upbeat and action packed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's the yellow ones.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, I thought you were gonna eat it.
I'm pretty sure a Medusa head wouldn't taste that very good.
I thought she was gonna kill you.
Oh, okay.
And she did.
I instead died to some spikes.
Oh,
But the save room that I was in is still in the clock tower, so we didn't lose all that much progress. But of course, we have to go through all the dialogue again.
okay.
And like, you were listening to my abridged version of what they were saying, but somehow they managed to stretch it out to that long.
Yeah. Well, it probably sounded important to them.
There we go. I don't even care about killing all the enemies, I just want to get past them.
Yeah, like why bother trying to kill all the enemies? It's not like they don't come back if you have to.
Yeah, especially the Medusa heads, because they just keep on spawning.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna just keep on keeping on, so why bother to, you can avoid them. Just
Exactly.
avoid 'em.
Oh god.
It looks like a Gundam.
He kind of does look like a Gundam. I think this guy may have been like one of the boss fights. I think he was one of the ones that was reduced to an enemy.
Aww.
And I think in like the labyrinth area, there was like an enemy that was like a smaller version of You remember that lion that had the scorpion tail
Yes.
and the wings? He was an enemy in the labyrinth area too.
Oh, okay.
And looks like there's gonna be a boss fight here.
Uh-oh. By the power of tater tots, let's defeat him. Or her. Whatever. Oh, look at him.
I think I know who this is. Yep, it's Death. Usually Death would be the second to final boss, but we're still not even close to the end of the game.
So they've even reduced death?
Mm-hmm. Also, you wouldn't think that Death would take orders from Dracula. You think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah. Dracula is badass.
course, that wasted all of our stamina, so we can't use it again.
Uh-oh, he's gonna run away. Uh-oh.
That's the attack that we have to worry about the most, that giant, like, pillar of light.
Yeah. Uh-oh, run. How can we tell when he's almost dead?
We just have to guess.
Oh, wow. I don't remember seeing a game where they didn't, like, show you the enemy's health bar, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of uncool.
Even in the older Castlevania games, the enemies, the boss fights had health bars.
Like in any game, the enemy has a health bar. I mean, for the bosses.
Oh. We destroyed his scythe.
Oh, shoot, now he's got a
double scythe.
crap. Oh. Fudge, you're dead. Oh, man. Death reigns supreme.
Well, I mean, he is dead.
Yeah, gotta give him his props.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Death. Way to kill us.
We still got about a minute left, so instead of trying to refight him again and just dying, I'm gonna see if there's anything else here that we haven't explored yet.
Okay.
Just avoid those two.
Ooh, look at that one's got purple hair. How pretty.
Now it looks like this unlocks a new area. The top floor.
It'd be funny if Death was just waiting there for us, like, can't escape. Oh, we can't get to it?
Nope. Maybe we have to beat Death in order to
Yeah,
get that area unlocked.
Probably.
Well, looks like that's going to be all the time that we have for today's episode of Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. This was actually quite a good episode, I think. We actually managed to make a bit of progress and didn't just go in a complete circle like we did the last episode. And we actually managed to meet Death. So, I think the second part, or at least the part after this one, is probably going to consist of me trying to fight Death.
Okay.
So that's pretty much just going to be a failure montage, I guess you could say, of me dying repeatedly.
Cool.
But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. So, until next time, I'm Ben Contreras.
I'm just Mama.
And bye.
Bye-bye. Happy Halloween.
I forgot to say this video was on Halloween.
Yep.